what it takes to make the club go out of control. Man, turn the music up a little bit. Bounce with me now, shorty, let's get in the way.
Hey!
No, what it takes to make the club go out of control. Man, turn the music up a little bit. Bounce with me now, shorty, let's get in the way.
Hey.
Hey, C.A.N podcast.
We're here right now, man.
Again,
Wow.
it's another one. I told you, we're just dropping bangers and bangers and bangers. Myself, Mr. Mons,
Party, after
aka
party.
Twin the Cylinder in the fresh.
Tinder Cylinder.
I'm joking.
Tinder Slender.
Yeah, I got my guy.
Man said Tinder Slender.
The Slender, innit? I was like, I swear it's not called that.
You're fresh, man.
The boy A. Lowe's here.
Hey, yo,
And-
Elmo on the cut. We're here now.
We've got special guests.
Special.
No, you can introduce me, man.
Oh, we're gonna have to introduce
All right,
him.
what's
You
this?
can introduce-
Actor,
Singer,
Right, yeah.
voiceover,
Artist,
rapper as well,
artist.
radio,
model.
host, model.
Back in the day,
What?
early 2000
what is-
legend.
What does Mark say? 6 foot something of temptation. Is that what's that?
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm not that. I'm not that. He's that. Hold tight, Marks, but I'm not that.
Yeah. It's my boy Abraham Papula up in there.
Gang.
Gang,
So excited
gang
to be
from
here,
day
man.
one, gang
Yeah,
since
yeah.
2002.
Come on.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you
Glad
here,
you're
my
here,
bro.
man.
I'm so happy to be here. So happy to be here. Love what you guys are doing, man.
Love, man.
Definitely.
Bro, first thing I want to ask, how you doing and how you feeling, bro?
What a beautiful question, man.
Yeah, man.
What a beautiful question. I'm actually feeling very happy to be here. Had a good day today. Got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, feeling balanced.
Yeah.
Supported. I feel like I've got everything I need to succeed in this life. Do you know what I'm saying? One of them days today. Yeah, man, happy to be here.
no, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's so surreal for me because
Yeah.
just knowing that you're doing this active thing now. Like, remember from day one, because me and Abraham used to go home together every day.
Yeah.
We used to meet up in the morning. He used to come to my house in the morning. We'd eat breakfast. Like, I would wake up late.
Yeah.
My mum or dad would like make breakfast for him
Yeah,
as well.
man.
Oh yeah.
I'll come downstairs. By the time I wouldn't even have time to even eat breakfast, I'll
Yeah.
just get a little toast.
Yeah,
run out with
yeah,
him,
yeah.
get the bus joke on the bus. So
Yeah.
we'll get 2 buses, so like a 277 or 30 to Highbury.
Yeah.
And then get a 43 or 271. Usually we get a 43 because we wanted to go back gates.
Yeah.
We go to the shop, the back gates as well. So
Sometimes a 236.
some of the 236 as well.
Legendary
Yeah. So depending on the timing and everything.
Yeah.
Like, every day from year 7 to year 11, and we had a lot of memories together, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
I'm very proud.
I've heard a lot of them as well. I heard a lot of
Crazy
Man.
stories.
Yeah. Something I gotta say is there are like people. There are certain types of people in it. I think everyone kind of falls into like very like traditional archetypes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would say about Aaron is the historian. Like if you all lived in a if you all lived in a village, Aaron's the historian, do you know what I mean? Like he'd be the one that's passing things down.
Yeah.
And tell
100.
you about all the past gods.
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
And I've always appreciated that about you because, yeah, man, my memories like. I'll remember it if you tell me. Do you get me? Most of the time, do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I know my sister's like that as well.
Yeah, she's got great memory.
Yeah, she remembers
memory.
everything. Do you know what I mean? And it's just so important to have people like that around you. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, man, thank God we're still living and we're still here. Do you know what I'm
100%,
saying?
bro.
And we're you know
Passed
a
away
lot of people
from-
passed. Rest in peace, Yemi. That's our
Rest in
boy. Do
peace,
you know what I mean?
Yems, man.
He was on a
Definitely,
podcast some time ago, and rest in peace, Jamal Edwards. Do you know what I mean? These are people our age. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
We'll get into that as well.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Having a space to talk about and sort of pay reverence to, you know, what we've been through, man. It's a wonderful thing.
100%. But on a high note,
Yeah.
what would you say is the funniest moment we've had together
Fuck. Shit, man.
in
there's so
school,
many
outside
things,
of
man.
school? Because I got at least 3. I got at least 3.
I know
got at least
for a
3.
fact you lot have gotten to some
Crazy stuff.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Oh
Crazy
my
shit.
To the point where I even think about it now and think, how did I even come across this guy in school? Like, how did we even get into these situations,
I
bro?
don't know. Some of them aren't even funny.
No, some of them are really, some of them are really
They're
dangerous.
funny when you got away with it.
Yeah,
But no. Damn. I mean, you guys mentioned the classic one on the last podcast.
on the bus.
No, with the bird pooing on.
Dummy
you know what's funny? Yeah, you lot was saying everyone's name.
Names, yeah.
And I thought that's deep, man. You know said his name. I'm not saying his name.
Yeah.
We finally squashed that beef. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I haven't seen him in years though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, boy. Hopefully, you know,
He's good and all that.
But yeah, he cut his hair like you, but in year what? Year 9, year 10. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Is it like you?
And the sun was shining.
But you know what? Before you continue though, this guy was like my news report. So if we was in different classes, so if something mad happened, he'll run to me and be like, "Yo, and that day he ran to me. He was out of breath, laughing for time. And he couldn't even get the words out. Then he's like, "Damn his haircut, come now."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
and I
it was
came,
big news.
And everyone was crowding him. I couldn't even see him.
Now the thing about Dammy, Dammy was like Blonks.
Yeah,
do you
he
get
was
me?
Blonks. He's a
He was
rhyme
like
guy.
he was like Lukaku. Do you get me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
or you know the guy from the Green Mile. Do you get me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Him.
Very
do you
big,
get me?
very big.
Blonks, but also like he was very quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very quiet. So no one really got onto him.
No.
Like normally quiet people would get onto them, but he was too big for you to get onto him. Do you get me?
You could scrap.
So everyone saw
Yeah.
the haircut was mad. And it was a sunny day.
Yeah.
And obviously maybe his mom or something rubbed vegetable oil in his hair that day. Yeah. And that's not even,
budget things.
that was my life. Literally, like before school, rubbing vegetable oil because they ain't got no fucking cocoa butter.
Yeah, of course.
Fucking real, man. But anyway,
brand was real, man.
he must have done that shit. Shine your eye.
Yeah.
He was that. And everyone's looking at this thinking,
Laughing.
Anybody else, their head would have been slapped about 20 times by
Yeah,
now.
no one even slapped him.
But he was like scary. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Scary in like not even a traditional scary way, because he never really was like,
No.
It just felt like,
His demeanor. He had something about him.
there was something about him. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
He looked older than his age.
Nah.
Not really. Not
Didn't.
his
He just
body
big.
was like,
Yeah.
he just was like big. Like, do you get me?
big
Like,
guy,
yeah,
big guy.
and not fat, just like. He'd finished.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? He'd finished
Played
developing.
basketball as well.
Yeah,
He
he
was
finished,
cutting
yeah.
sticks,
Do you get me? Yeah. And he just felt like he was solid.
Yeah.
But because he never flaunted how strong he was, that was a scary thing.
Yeah.
That was
And
what
we
was
didn't
scary.
know how strong he was.
Exactly. And he was our boy. Do you get me?
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah. That was our guy.
But not that day, boy. That day. That day when he came with a shining head top and everyone was looking like, I wish we could slap this guy, but we can't.
Yeah. And people were licking their lips like, man.
And yeah, obviously, the seagull shat on his head.
Perfect timing.
Perfect. Everyone's looking at his head already. The seagull shat and it literally just dripped down like this, and he had no
Once
idea.
everyone's circling him and watching him, the seagull just goes.
Yeah.
But
And
then-
he doesn't know people are watching him. Do you get me?
No.
Everyone's sort of like whispering, like, right, look at his head.
Yeah,
slap
yeah,
it. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the seagull just sat on his head and it just slid down.
And he turned around and looked at us like, damn.
Yeah.
I just shitted on him.
What do you do in that?
Bro,
aspect?
But you,
everybody like
you keep your head down and you just walk to your destination.
Bro, like,
right?
obviously back in those days, like Abraham's laugh, he still has his laugh now, innit?
yeah.
His laugh would be so loud and he would scream. And everyone that wasn't even like there with us would turn around and look and be like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
Oh, that makes so much sense.
he caused so much.
I've never heard that before, but it's very true, and that makes so much sense as to why often people were trying to beef me.
Yeah.
Because I always think, like, what am I doing? Like, everyone's
the laugh
laughing.
hurt, bro.
But the laugh.
yeah, the laugh
The laugh
made
was
things
painful.
even worse.
Okay, fair
yeah.
Yeah. Peter was the same. Peter always got
Peter's-
away with it.
Peter's
Yeah,
one
Peter's
was-
laugh was very.
It was lighter than
yeah,
yours.
it was like, but it was
hurt.
more. It was more conniving. It was more
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say another funny story is when one time I was in Dawson, coming back from school. And,
Oh my god.
Those are like I'm not even gonna get into that one yet. You know which one I'm talking about though, innit? I think you're thinking of another one.
Okay,
but
let's
this
see.
one here, it was like a nice car pulled up. It was like an old school 80 Ferrari,
goodness.
and it was some Jamaican guy.
Shit, I've not thought about this since then.
So some drunk Jamaican guy is like, yeah, man, that's a bomber car, nice car you got there, nice rims, bro. And me and Abraham were just standing there looking at the guy. I had no idea what this guy was gonna do. We were just both just standing there like, yeah. And then Abraham just went straight to the guy. He's like, £2, you can't get one. And ran off. I'm running with him. Cool. So we've ran up. So let's just say we're at
Oh my days.
where Boots is.
Okay, cool.
Run up to where Nando's is, and we
Yeah.
stopped there,
Yeah.
thinking the guy's not even gonna catch us. We're too fast. We're too young for him. He's a drunk guy. He can't keep up with us. We get to Nando's. were standing there talking. I don't know what we was even talking about. We were just chatting.
You know, we're having a nice little break.
Yeah, we're
No,
chilling.
they had a laugh.
Probably
had a
watching
little break.
some like football or something.
And obviously, because he used to like lie sometimes to trick me, he was like, "Oh, Aaron, the guy's behind you!" Oh! And then runs off. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I've turned around. This guy had a glass bottle in his hand. He had a glass bottle in his hand.
So he was actually coming after you then?
Yes, he was.
So you caught up.
He caught up, obviously,
Yeah.
but we stood there for time.
yeah,
innit?
because
But
we
then-
thought he wasn't a chaser. We thought he was too drunk to chase us.
And I literally legged it to my house.
Yeah.
And next day, he was just like, "Bruv, that was mad, innit?"
That was terrifying. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. That's not the first yardie to, wanna.
Oh, yeah.
end my life.
Okay. That
Yeah,
was
the other story, which is funny now, but wasn't funny for me then. So we used to take the bus, 43 to Highbury, and we're waiting for the bus 30 or the 277 to take us into Hackney.
Yeah.
And sometimes the bus takes long to come.
Yeah.
These times, remember this is how old we are. We didn't have the fucking
the time.
Remember that?
No,
when
we
you
didn't-
when
Was
the
it the
bus
string
come.
thing? Was it just the string? The string, the ding, the string.
No.
We're
the time
off the bus, we're waiting for the bus.
What the hell are you talking about?
The bus in it.
Yeah, the bus on the 30.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. That's mad. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You talking about the-
I'm talking about we're waiting for the bus. You know, back in the day, you didn't have the numbers like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or do you remember?
Yeah,
that? I remember when they first brought it in, I was like, whoa.
Thank God for that. Yeah.
Age real bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're waiting for the bus. Don't know when it's gonna come. I think we just missed one. And there's like these mansions or like flats, like a gated community on that road.
Yeah.
And before the place used to be open. So when we're waiting for the bus, we used to kick ball in the little courtyard.
Yeah.
And we can look out and we can see whether the bus is there or not. But now there's a gate there now. But there's like a gap about this big underneath, innit? So I'm there now, I'm waiting for the bus. I don't know what.
But wait, but before you continue, bearing in mind, we used to do knockdown ginger at this guy's door every other day.
Oh, fuck, I didn't remember. Of course, that was the context.
That was the reason why.
So when the gate wasn't there
Yeah.
was a person's door that we used to knock on. Actually, I think there was a couple doors we just knock on and run and get on the bus. You can't catch us. Yeah. So, and here's the thing, Here's the thing that smashed the story, which I say at the end. So I'm there and the gate's locked. I'm like, cool. Let me pretend I was doing Mission Impossible. I was like, din. And I was sliding underneath the gate, like in flipping
Watching
Metal
him
Gear
like, what
Solid.
the hell?
Then all I feel is, I get pulled from my foot up,
Mad.
stood up, and I get slapped across the face.
Mad.
And the man said, if you ever come back again, I'll kill you. And I was like, what? And I just saw this massive, like, Jamaican man, you know what I'm saying?
He had dreads, innit?
He had
Yeah.
dreads, you know what I'm saying? Not that, dreads is, to profile people with dreads.
No.
This guy happened to have dreads.
Dreads, yeah.
And happened to slap a child because I was 14.
Yeah.
He slapped the shit out of me. And then, you know when you're slapped and you're slapped into action. Like, you don't even take a second to what's happened. You're like, cool, that's the bus, let's go. Yeah. And it was when I was in the bus, I was literally feeling half my face wasn't really connected to the nerve cells.
So you
It
lot were
was
playing
gone.
with death then?
You know what?
We're playing with death. We're
It's
playing with
mad.
death.
No, you know what? That moment was mad because you didn't even look at any of us after that happened.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just- everyone was just silent. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
it was
just
mad.
happened?
Yeah, you can't say
This wasn't in the script.
Yeah, it wasn't. Here's the mad thing about it as well. That motherfucker didn't even live there.
What?
He didn't even live there. That was just another crazy, drunk guy.
Yard man.
Yeah, he didn't even live there. Come on, he lived there?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. We thought he didn't live there, bro.
Because what? He didn't even go in. Like he just
No,
boxed.
exactly. He
He
just
just pulled you out, slapped you, and kept it walking.
kept moving.
Oh no. Okay. All right. This wasn't funny at the time, but this story here. This is the last story. This story here.
Cinema.
No cinema. This one, Abram was. Hey, no. Let me explain it. So cool. I just got Pro Evolution 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to tell this story, but it's a classic. You're probably gonna be like, no. But do you know it?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, so he came to my house about on a Saturday. Was it a Saturday morning? He had he was meant to go to like a maths club, innit? But we just stayed inside, played pro. Pro's literally saved our lives. Pro Evo literally saved our lives.
I hated this day, man.
But yeah, cool. So we were playing pro for from
Yeah, all day.
morning to
All
night,
day,
bro.
all day.
Then he left. Cool. On a Saturday with my pops, I used to watch like SmackDown on a Saturday around 10, 11. Cool. My bell rings. My dad goes downstairs. He's like, "Hey, Aaron!" He didn't used to call me Aaron. My dad used to call my name. He's like, "Hey, Aaron, come downstairs." I came downstairs. I see Abraham's head's down and his mom's standing there. And my heart just started beating because I was scared of Abraham's mom. Bad. Like, even when she was nice to me, I was still shook. and then she was like, "Was Abraham here today?" I looked at Abraham, and Abraham kind of looked up and looked at me like, "Nigga, help me." I was like, I fucked up. I was like, because I was so shook about it. I was like,
Maybe he wasn't here.
I was like, obviously my dad's looking at me like, "Nigga, you better tell the truth." I was like, yeah. And then she was like, "Bam!" But Abraham kind of blocked it. So she kind of like
the
grazed
worst thing
him.
to do.
But then he
Block a
blocked
parent's
it.
beat.
And I feel like because you blocked it, it pissed her off even more.
100.
He said, "Hey, so you lied to me." Went for him again, and he kind of like grazed him. And I was like, "Oh, man."
Literally outside your door.
Literally outside my door, and I was like, "Damn, I threw my friend under the bus." I was like, so down about it. And then my dad was like, "Mama."
Sorry.
Yeah.
What was you supposed to say there?
I was meant to say, like, obviously inside I wanted to say.
You can't win in that
I
situation.
couldn't have won
get
because
me?
my dad was there. He knew the truth. She was there. She
Why
knew the
fuck
truth.
Would I tell her I wasn't there?
Exactly. And obviously, evidently, she knew already, but she just wanted me
Even
to.
if you
confirm.
like,
And I feel like she was
beef from
testing.
your dad.
I feel like she was testing me as well.
Okay.
Because
She was testing you.
She was testing
and he
me.
passed.
Oh yeah.
And he passed. And here's the thing, though, just to quickly just interject here.
Yeah.
From that day, first of all, in hindsight, like, your dad found it hilarious.
Yeah, he did.
Your dad found it
Bro,
so
you know he was
funny.
making jokes about that for weeks.
Oh my days, like literally. But in the moment, I think I'm going to die in this month. I'm going to die on my friend's doorstep. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But the reason why my mum then loved you after because you told the truth.
Okay.
So my mum always used to vet every friend of mine.
Yeah.
She'd have something to say about every one of them. She didn't like Dammy.
Swear.
Yeah, she didn't like Dammy. She said, I don't know why. I should stop saying Dammy's name to us. But again, it was Peter.
Sorry, Dammy.
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 No, I'll type Dammy.
But yeah, cool. So then, obviously, the door shut. My dad was just like thinking, Abraham's mum, she's a strong woman. Hey, strong woman. I was like, damn. And I'm thinking, shit, I got PE with this guy on Monday, period 1. What am I even going to say to him? Like, I just pretty much got him slapped. I'm bare down about it. Cool. So then I come into my PE lesson now. It was PE GCSE. Remember we had PE
Fuck,
GCSE?
we were old as well.
Yeah. So cool.
She doing that to me in year 11. And like, what the fuck?
Bro, so he's sitting at the front, yeah, and I'm thinking, oh shit, this guy's not even gonna talk to me, or what's he gonna say? Like, and then you've turned around really slow and then just smiled at me. Like, I was like, bro, like, what happened? You're like, oh, brother, it's not it, man. It's mine. Yeah, but no, hey, don't tell anyone, though.
It was a regular
I was like, bro,
occurrence.
I ain't gonna tell anyone, bro. Literally.
Until
Until now.
Until now.
Until now.
Now the world knows.
Now the world knows, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dangerous times.
Yeah.
Whether
Good
it's
old
from
days.
outside
Good old
or from your own parents, man.
No,
It
good
was
old
crazy.
days, man. Good old days.
Yeah, man.
I think that whole beating is gonna stop at our generation. I don't think any.
so?
Yeah, I think it's already
I
stopped.
think it's stopped now, man.
I think some people do it on the
What, are you
slide.
not allowed to beat your kids anymore?
No, it's...
You've never been allowed, bro. You've never been allowed. Did no one tell you?
What?
Yeah, it's illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Illegal here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, of course.
Just like it's illegal to kick cats.
Yeah.
Back home, but
Yeah, yeah, just like it's illegal.
That's interesting if you think it's going to stop. Like, I'd love it to stop, but I wonder if it's not just like it's like a class thing as well. Because there's people in desperate situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about this a lot. Like,
I think it's good. It's good that you have that perspective on it, and you said like it's a class thing rather than a race thing.
no, I don't think it's I don't think it's a race thing. You know? I think, of course, culture's in there, but I think when class mixes with culture, whereby obviously there's a white working class in this country that may not have the same issues because they don't have the pressure of having to make it for their generation where they're coming from. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But I think that mixture makes it hard, and I think as much as it's not good, you know what I mean? It's not a good thing. It's a traumatic thing. Yeah, very traumatic. But like in hindsight, although I don't condone it, I completely understand why. Because I was saying to my friend the other day, like everybody I grew up with around my immediate area, every single one apart from Aaron is into shit. is either has died or is in jail or you know had kids really young and all them things.
I feel like we was like the only normal ones.
Literally, and I think and of course our parents sending us to schools outside of Hackney.
Yeah. I get that now.
I hated it at the time, like because it was also so dangerous, as you guys touched on in the last podcast, just to fucking get from your home to school and back.
Yeah.
But what it meant was I wasn't in gangs. I wasn't doing any sort of stuff because I wasn't allowed, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was too scared of what my mum would do to me, which is why my mum marched me up to your door because I was like, playing pro with you.
That's
because
it.
she doesn't know. She thinks I could be doing any sort of madness, which all the other kids are doing. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's like, there's definitely culture in there, but I also think it's about how a class, isn't it? It's like a desperate thing of actually you're trying your best, especially if your mum or your dad or your carer works all day. You don't see your kids.
Yeah.
So how are you going to discipline them? Do you get me? When you have the half an hour window before you go to sleep, you got to discipline them for a whole week in that half an hour. Do you know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I understand
And
that
sometimes it comes in the form of battery.
And I understand it's a class thing, but I want to know, when you become a parent, at what point do you start discipline? Because I've seen kids say to their dads or mums like, "Mom, fuck you," or "Shut the fuck up," and everything. Like for me, if I had kids and my kid trying to tell me, "Yo, like shut the fuck up," then I'm sorry, bro. It's a straight box. Do you understand?
But they may stop saying it, but they're not gonna stop thinking it.
Yeah.
They're gonna think it harder. They're gonna think it so hard you hear it.
That deep that though. That's mad.
But deep this though. So are you saying like you don't say, like you don't hit your child?
It's about communication, man. It's about communication, and it's so interesting because I used to think that way as well. And through having loads of conversation, reading books and therapy, all this shit. Which I want to touch on that later, just like black men's mental health. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I think we're used to it. Do you know what I mean? That's what we got, and we got it from people that loved us. A lot. So we equate that as love, but it's not a loving thing to do. It isn't loving. It's them trying to love us. But they don't know how based on the situation that they're in. Do you get me?
And it also stems from some sort of frustration as well.
Yeah.
The whole current situation, that obviously the area that we're living in, how we're growing up, their situation. And obviously we do like some little silly little things and they'll just lose it.
100%. I think it's always about communication. It's about how do you communicate with your kids. But of course, if you're very poor and you're like an immigrant, the luxury to even have time to communicate. Then also, exactly. Then also even the language barrier. Like my first language is my mum's third or fourth. So to communicate to your kids, to be able to say, yo, like what you're doing is going to lead to this, and that. It's not good. Trying to teach your kid empathy and understanding all those things, like you can't even get through to them. Do you know what I mean? Which is why, although I don't condone it, I understand it. But for us, we have to say, okay, we actually do have the luxury. We can be able to communicate. We can communicate with our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because actually, like you can, the baddest kids, who are doing madness in our school, were either kids with parents weren't around, or they keep getting abused by their parents. You know what I'm saying? So actually, it doesn't even work. Do you know what I mean?
There was someone in our year group. I'm not even going to say his name, but
You've been naming and
there's a
shaming.
first,
You've been naming and shaming for
I'm not going to say his name, but he used to. If I was give you like his characteristics, like, you will know who I'm talking about. He used to joke around a lot. He used to do crazy shit. He was in my class. He was always used to chill with MB. All the time. That was his best mate. His best mate was MB, Arsenal MB. He told me recently, I was getting abused at home, man. And it makes so much sense because
that
I
makes
feel like
I know
that
what
was
you're talking about.
that was a mask. Like all the stuff he used to, crazy stuff he used to do, it was like a cover up of what he was really dealing with. I remember he used to fight a lot. He used to get into a lot of fights. And I was like to him, bro, why did you get into so many fights? He was like, bro, I was getting beaten up by a grown adult. Why would I be scared of anyone my own age?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So, man. I'm glad we, had good parents and good parenting at home.
Yeah, they did their best. You know what I mean? That's heartbreaking. It's so funny you say that because of what you guys were talking about in the last podcast. Because of what you guys were talking about in the last podcast, I was thinking like, okay, you guys have touched on how dangerous it was. I love to talk about why them kids were that way. Do you get me? And now as an adult, I'm like, the only possible reason is because the environment they're living in must be madder than they are. It must be madder than they are.
That's
you know?
scary
So
in itself.
it's no surprise that guy you're talking about, who I'm pretty sure you know you're talking about, was that way, and everyone else, because do you know what I mean? I knew what I was going through at home. Do you know what I'm saying? And my own version of that, which meant there were consequences. You know what I mean? It had repercussions. You know, it had it meant that I was a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you're literally a child, your brain hasn't even finished developing. Do you get me? And you're seeing all sorts of madness, or you're being neglected, or you're being left alone. Some of the things that you see as a kid, like, they affect you. Do you know what I'm saying? And to come into a situation like a secondary school with teachers who've got to teach 180 kids, they can't sit down with every single one and understand what's going on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Time and attention.
100%, man.
So it's hard,
100%.
man. It's hard work.
And
that's
even with this, because we got into the same school as well. We knew the type of kids we was chilling with, who was gonna fall off the rails.
Yeah.
Because of just the way their behavior was at school. Like people.
Yeah. You can sense it because there's a lot of people whose behavior patterns weren't necessarily like. There's a lot of people in our school that did things. Some sold drugs, some did this, some did that. I didn't know who was selling drugs, or because that wasn't really something I was looking out for. But we knew there was people who were wearing fresh garms every other week. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's quite fresh. You know what I'm saying? And then a couple of weeks later, got a fresh jacket, this, that, and the other. But you know that person is doing something, but then that pattern or behavior is stemming from something else outside that. We had this conversation before. Like I grew up with nothing, and I never longed for material things to make me feel better about myself. Not because I didn't want them, I just didn't want to go through the route of doing these naughty things outside that could eventually catch up to me and probably end up in jail. I wanted the fresh trainers. I used to wear I remember coming in K-Swiss and people were laughing at me.
I thought K-Swiss was hard.
It was bang for a moment in our school.
That was hard.
Yeah.
Bro,
Why were they laughing, bro?
This had 4 stripes because Adidas has 3 stripes.
Yeah.
So they were taking a piss.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 5 stripes?
Yeah, wasn't it like 5?
But cases was
It wasn't 3.
Yeah.
It
Do you
wasn't
know what
3.
it is? Maybe because partly part of it is ghetto. Some people don't understand.
Probably.
Yeah.
That it's K-Swiss. They
Yeah,
just see it.
K-Swiss.
They think it's a Diodoro or whatever. do you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. So I was getting gunned down. I got gunned down a couple of times, but because don't get me wrong, I was getting beats at home, bro. I was getting beats at home. I wasn't even born here, so my experience is a bit different to you guys as well in a lot of cases because I already seen like hardship and I've already seen kids get beat. You know what I'm saying? I've seen like proper beatings. Obviously back when I was in Kenya and whatnot. And I came here because I hate to say this, but we weren't like we were treated like we weren't civilized.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know the routine here. There were certain things that we had to learn, and you know, there's just so much learning that we had to do. And a lot of those teachers were beat into us. You know, we do something, we get like 3 times the punishment. It's like okay, like there comes a time where you take a moment. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should focus now. Or maybe I should just have like a direction in life I want to go in. And not all the time, but certain times when you get a good beating, and after that beating, you have a good conversation after that, then it could work. But like you're saying, like not every child receives beatings the same way. Some will flip, go 360, just like fuck this, fuck life, and I'm doing fuck life.
It's also what comes what the beatings. It's also what the beatings come with.
Of course.
Because like, you know, again, I don't condone any way, shape, or form, but like when you're getting beats and you're also not getting fed. You're also not You're also not being taught hygiene. You're also seeing bare strangers in the house. You're seeing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's a neglect.
There's nothing else to let you know that your parent loves you. As a kid, when I'm seeing like, this doesn't feel like love, and I've learned it isn't love. But there's all these other things which are love. Do you know what I'm saying? So I realize, and that's someone as an adult, I realize someone's struggling to try and help me. But in other situations, it's just pure, 100% abuse.
That's a good point because as much as I was getting beat, I was getting shown love in a lot of different ways, conversations, making sure I was fed, like house. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you have the necessary things in your life, which is housing, food, education, and healthcare, and all these things are being attended to, everything else, as you're growing up, is not necessarily a need, it's a want. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go to school and learn. That's something that you must do in order to put yourself in a position and later on in life and, make something good of yourself, essentially. But when you're going through life in your early ages and to your teenagers, a lot of the things that you desire are just things that you want You want to do this. You want to play games. You don't need a lot of those things. But so what our parents try and do is they show us what you need rather than what you want, and they give you what you want in small increments.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was getting the love, I was getting all these other things, but also I was getting the punishment or discipline, I'd say, slash discipline. More discipline than punishment. And I think, like you were saying earlier, I think that's the difference between certain households. Is like some households, you literally just get beaten and abuse, but there's no like a cushion for you to lay back on later on to be told that wasn't right, this wasn't right, here's some food. Right. Yeah, there's no balance in a lot of households.
In my household, as Abraham would know, the balance was on point. Like my mum, you know how my mum was. Like she was serious, bro. Like she was a nice woman. She's a nice woman, but at the same time, if you piss her off, she would lay them hands on you. Yeah. But my pops never hit me in my life.
Good cop, bad cop.
Exactly that. Yeah. Like
my dad didn't hit me either.
Yeah, my dad
he wasn't there.
As Abraham would know, my dad was. I couldn't.
But would you lot?
Let's go that one.
Would you lot say the actions of like beating your child? Do you think for a child it starts to form that type of PTSD as they will get older?
100%.
Yeah, definitely. That's some sense of trauma.
Because I know, especially from the area we're coming from, like a lot of our friends suffered from PTSD, where you can't actually go outside, or you don't want to go to this area, this area. And I just believe that, as you were saying, like you need to have that communication with your child, because they need to understand that, look, you are my God, like that's my parent, that's my dad, or that's my mum. But at least if I've got something on my mind, I can have a genuine conversation. I can express myself. Because I feel like when we were kids, we weren't able to express ourselves to our parents.
You know what?
No.
My situation was different, bro. Because with my dad, because he didn't beat me, his words were like beatings.
Okay.
So if I done something bad, bro, I'd rather the beating than him saying,
Telling
"Are you disappointed?"
Yeah.
That hits you hard, innit?
Bro, that's why I never ever done anything bad. Like that's why I never went out and sold drugs or was on the road doing all this madness, because I didn't want to disappoint my dad or my mom. You know what I mean?
But flipping that though, there are certain kids coming from certain households, that have all these things that we just spoke about, the necessary things in their lives.
I still do it,
and they still on these roads. And they still
here's the other thing about that. Yeah. So I love that argument, and also that's a beautiful thing. Like it's so rare to hear that in our community of a father-son relationship like that. It's a beautiful thing. Do you get me? Like, and I'm just so happy that you had that. Yeah. But yeah, like that's the interesting thing. For me, the answer still lays in class and race, because that's someone with all of the tools available to them, but they're not all the tools. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? You still got parents who are desperate. You're still living in a impoverished area, where at least when we were growing up, you know what I'm saying? You're going to schools which are fucking dangerous. It's all of this stuff is happening all around you, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, even if your parents can give you everything they can, but like if they're working however many jobs, however many hours, they're seeing you for half an hour a day. Yeah. And there's the other thing as well, when people want to put it on us like, it's like a black on black crime, blah, blah, blah. Yo, how many kids from Chelsea are doing this?
No.
None.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or Windsor, or whatever. They don't do this because they don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not in that poverty. Yeah.
It's not, they can't, it's not even accessible. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the closest they get to it is music. Yeah. So I was talking to my friend, the other day, you know what I'm saying? And not that they grew up super rich, but they grew up in a complete different part of London. Yeah. And they were absolutely shocked at some of the tiny things I was saying. And I realized, of course, this ain't normal. Yeah. This ain't normal, do you know what I mean? But we literally get dropped into like the pit of fire of hell, do you know what I'm saying? Like literally with lines everywhere. Yeah. And also your parents are coming on with their own trauma, being respected at work, being respected on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like there are so many factors that go into why a child goes off the rails, you know what I mean?
The trauma that we experience, I think that became our norm. It was just like, you know what, this is an everyday thing. You know what I'm saying?
So we didn't notice it.
I'm waking up to crackheads and sirens.
Literally, that was how I woke up every morning, crackheads fighting.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Crackheads fighting, everything. So
we used to laugh at crackheads in Dawson.
I didn't know what they were. You know what I'm saying? If I knew, I would have laughed harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Facts.
And you know what, guys? Also, like, I just wanted to like put this out. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit lower, the energy, because
It's already low, bro.
it's
Already low. I feel like I'm in therapy right now.
But
like,
you know
damn.
what? We recently lost a pioneer in our culture. You know,
definitely.
rest in peace, Jamal Edwards.
Yeah.
Condolence to his family. And it's, you know what it is like?
It's the same
I
age
just-
as us, bro.
Same
Literally.
age, but I just feel like our pillars in our community are just going like one by one. And it's just like
It hurts,
all of a sudden, I just found out. I was like, what?
You know what? That was such a shock for me. And at the same time, the reason why I respected him so highly is because we grew up in the era of waiting on a Friday, 7 o'clock for Top of the Pops.
100%.
Just to see So Solid or More Fire Crew or someone that looked like us, that represented our culture. This is a guy that's our age, that picked up a camera, that's from West London, and
I started a
bare
whole
man
new,
that we grew up listening
whole
to.
new wave.
A whole new wave. A man that we actually actively listened to, that weren't charts, that weren't in the charts, weren't getting #1 records, weren't going platinum or gold, and was giving them a platform to just do their thing. And these receipts are looking good, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to see everyone's receipts to know that. I could just sense his energy.
Yeah, 100.
Always pure.
He's literally like I'm touching my 30s, but
Yeah.
like, I'm literally inspired by his journey.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
Same.
Like I'm trying to do what he's done.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to do what he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of us are like out here picking up cameras. We're trying to create our own platforms, and we're trying to venture out into these different kind of adventures that were made to look possible by someone like him.
Yeah.
Grime Daily wouldn't exist. Link Up wouldn't exist. A lot of these platforms that we're looking at the moment, I wouldn't say they wouldn't exist, but I'm sure Jamal Edwards at SBTV had a lot of influence and a lot of
accelerated
100%, man.
You feel me?
100%.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine if he didn't get that camera for his birthday?
Imagine. I mean, even if he didn't get the camera, I'm sure he would have found another way to make it work. And that's just-
Yeah.
he was that visionary.
He was
person.
destined for it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
No, yeah.
That's it.
It's such a sorry.
Do you know what? And just sorry to cut you off, but just getting the response when I'm looking on like the social medias, like I never realized of how much artists he put people on.
Man, how many hours?
The
you
whole
put on?
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
You know this the biggest UK artist. Who was it? Ed Sheeran.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
yeah.
put Ed Sheeran on.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Everyone.
It's
remembers that
a
freestyle.
white boy, ginger boy. You know, it's not like some
That
black
was
guy
homeless, bro.
from Tottenham or Hackney. No, he's some ginger white dude singing on the streets. He put him on. Imagine that.
Those F45s were so crucial.
F64s.
F64.
F45. That's a cream, bro. That's a cream. You're talking about F45s. The boy done lost his mind. Every cream, man.
That's the new ones.
Oh,
He put that on this morning. And stuck in your head. I rate that though. I rate that still.
100%.
it's actually E45 just for the viewers.
E45.
E45.
But,
Close
but the
enough.
joke bags. The
But
joke bags.
you know what it is? Nah, man. It's crazy. Does anybody know how he passed away or
No, there's no information on it.
no
Yeah.
information on it?
No idea, you know. But yeah, literally what a pioneer. It's so interesting thinking about music now and just thinking about, listen, you got to excuse me. This is my brain is always in these places, you get me? Like
Yeah,
about black
yeah.
liberation, all them things there. And I'm just thinking about, you know, when George Floyd was murdered, right? I had this thought, like, all these white people that are coming out saying, I didn't know. And I thought, but you listen to our music all the time. You listen to our music all the time. What the hell are we saying?
Yeah.
We're literally saying we're suffering. We can't breathe. Help us.
Yeah.
And we obviously get that from growing up. We heard that very much from an American perspective.
Yeah.
And you know, along with Channel U, you know, Jamal Edwards was responsible for the first time of it really becoming so accessible for people like us to be able to tell our stories.
Yeah.
And that's actually seen the lineage now because we still really haven't been accepted.
No.
Like
We just made it cool.
Yeah, we've made it cool, but it's not really accepted. You know what I'm saying? We still got to mold it to certain places. Still certain things we can't say.
Got to sugarcoat things.
Exactly. Diggity's got to flipping bleep out every single half of
Yeah.
word. Every
Yeah.
sentence you got to bleep it out. But still, we're still finding a way to say, look, this is what's going on. And like, yes, I know, you know how I grew up in this area, but like, there's so many things I didn't know. Do you know what I'm saying? That was adjacent to me. And because of this music, I'm knowing what people are going through. of course, there's good stuff, but also the bad stuff is really important to understand, like how desperate a situation is, like all the things that need to change.
Yeah.
So I think for me, when I think about someone like Jamal Edwards, I think that's actually one of the most powerful things, actually, because still we're still pushing to have like a voice that tells people who we are and what we go through on a main stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like all of these platforms you mentioned come from that lineage, which is just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jamal Edwards, man.
R.I.P.
I feel like he touched such a demographic of different people from different races and everything. When I was just seeing of how much, love he was getting and seeing.
But he just, sorry to cut you, bro, but with Jamal Edwards, I don't think I've seen anyone or any platform come out and say something bad about him.
Yeah, nothing.
Doing
Like,
this,
you know what I'm saying?
he's trying to steal this or
like,
I've heard it from other platforms though,
Yeah.
like other people.
I've heard people talk about
nothing
certain
bad.
owners of certain platforms,
And
and they call out on their bad
but
kind of.
him never,
But
not
never, I've
one
never
bad
heard anyone
receipt.
say,
Not
"Oh,
one
Jamal
bad
has done
receipt.
this or has done that." You know what I'm saying? And credit to him, man. And he's short life, but he's done.
Yeah, done a lot.
Done a lot.
His legacy.
MBE.
Yeah.
MBE created one of the biggest UK urban platforms. You know what I'm saying? And inspired a whole 1, 2, 3 generations of people to go and pursue dreams as well, bro.
What's your man's favorite F64 though?
Probably Wretches for me.
Ooh, with the hat, the leather gloves.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That's
I like
nostalgic for real.
I like Chips one.
I like Chips ones. I like Dave's.
Gang banging, banana flagging, gang signs are slapping. If you ain't getting paid, then it's there.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if you are getting paid, it's
English
tough
Frank.
change.
Do you remember English?
English Frank.
yeah.
Ooh.
His one was super.
But he kind of like killed his career. He started saying some like racist stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Got cancelled.
He's English Frank, man. What do you want us to do?
Yeah, cool.
I liked Akala's, man.
Akala's was
That was fire. It was fire.
Akala's
It was so cold, like, and it was just like,
So
raw,
cold.
like,
Akala's F45 was hard still.
man. Yeah, it was moist. It was green.
Moist, it was moist.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Was it the one with the high top?
I think he had an afro still.
Yeah, the afro,
the afro high top.
Yeah.
Dress weren't there yet.
Yeah, the dress one there.
Yeah, the dress one there. Yeah.
No, but you know what, Jamal Edwards, your legacy will always live on.
100.
We will always remember you. And it's just thank you for everything, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
real.
Rest in
Definitely,
peace.
bro.
And just not to kind of tread too far, because when we was talking about this whole kind of like the scene accepting black talents and whatnot, what I don't say hate looking at now, I wouldn't say that word because it's not necessarily how I'm trying to come across when I'm saying this. You have all these different platforms now, the likes of Foot Asylum and JD's and all these different platforms now that are literally making their YouTube channels like they're just getting to the scene. We're like, we like this black person, we like this person.
Yeah.
And then just creating hella content with these people. And it just goes to show, like, as much as we're not gonna be in the offices in that high, in the HQs and whatnot, we're always going to be used to elevate what they're doing. You feel me? Like I don't want to come across like I'm saying something mad, but as much as they don't want us in certain spaces, they'll use us to elevate whatever they're doing because we're like cool to look at, or we can entertain them because obviously we have to fetch for ourselves. A lot of us have to literally. We grow up and then we go into these corporate spaces and then we straight away find out that we literally have to like walk on eggshells because we can't say the wrong thing or we can't act a certain way because if we do, then it's like, oh, look, there's an angry black man there, or that's why we don't employ black people, or you know what I'm saying? Because you have to always kind of fight against your stereotype. I was having this conversation with my other guys the other day before, and then it was like, when we're at home, we're trying to prove to our parents that we're not the stereotype. We're not the stereotype. We're not these gangbangers outside. We don't have knives and we're not that. But then when we come outside, we have to hold ourselves a certain way so that the next man don't look at us like we're some dickheads. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like this constant conflict that we have with this image that's been painted of us, and and as much as it has to do with everything that kind of surrounds the environment, the culture, the poverty, the experiences, all these different things but we still have to we have to grow up fast and just realize that all these things are like in place to hinder us, but we have to just
hard
push
work, isn't
on, push on. You know, that's why the likes of Jamal Edwards are born because they want more for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You know what? I guess just to add on top of that, I feel like, as you're saying as well, it's about the class and where we're coming from and culture. But for us, we've always had to be like a chameleon. We've always had to adapt and being able to transform to be like, okay, you know what? When I'm with these certain type of people, I need to act like this. When I do you know what I'm saying? So, and for that builds character. It builds a skill.
Yeah.
So you know how to act and how to articulate yourself at the same time. So it's just like,
That's why
we got to try and swivel our way through to try and get to the top. And I feel like now we are in the position where we're creating our own HQs and our own establishment, so we can bring our people involved.
But it's like the average black person, boy or girl, grows up faster than most other people. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, we're having conversations about us, like, you know, when you're in certain white spaces and you say certain things, and it's like, wow, really, really? It's like, how comes you don't know this? How comes you're not like?
I think they do know it, though. They're just playing.
Nah, you'd be surprised, bro.
A lot of people don't know, bro. A
lot of ignorance is bliss for a lot of people, bro.
And sometimes, you know, there's definitely ignorance, and sometimes literally because it's something that shouldn't happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to, I'm really like enjoying drill at the moment. I was listening to over and over. I'm listening to Trapo over and over again. Some of the things this man says he's been through, I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know there were this many guns, you know what I mean, literally around the corner. I didn't know them things. So there's a part of it is literally like you don't know. So I'm literally having the same reaction, like, what? Now, of course, the gap in ignorance actually is ridiculous. Like, you don't know that there's people that are poor and are discriminated against because of the colour of the skin and where they come from and their accent, you know what I'm saying? That stuff is like, everybody should know that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
it's like obviously, say for instance, we've kind of more or less grown up in this country and whatnot, and you get conversations about, oh yeah, Africa this, Africa that. Certain spaces, you know, it's like this, the poverty is so bad. You know of it, but you don't know how severe it is when you actually see it, and you're like, shit. Like, it's actually bad. And a lot of the times that's how it is. It's like people, it's like a conversation being had around them, but they're not necessarily paying attention. I was reading Akala's book, or Why I No Longer Want to Speak about black issues with white people. You know that book?
Why don't I talk to white people about race?
Yeah. And there's this one part that she was talking about, like, about her carrying her bike. Like, she used to see people carrying their bikes onto the platforms, but you know, it looks hard. It looks hard, but you don't know how hard it is until you have to carry your own bike onto a platform. Do you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the analogies that, like, it's like people will know of things, will know of like certain things that are happening, because we're not living under a rock or in a fucking mountains now, bro. A lot of things are exposed to us. You can find a lot of things here as well. So people are aware of certain things, and the ignorance, as much as they want to stay ignorant and like kind of absent-minded about certain things, they are aware. But then that has no equivalence to someone
being there,
actually being there and seeing things happen. You know, when we say, there's some, you know, they say every, you know, black group has one white guy in it. That white guy is in there because he's growing up in that situation. He's growing up in that environment.
It's very helpful.
And he's very helpful. But you get where I'm coming from. It's like people are not dumb. They just want to stay ignorant to
part of it as well. We're getting deeper, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Very
but
deep.
Part of it as well is actually the history of racial oppression means that white people in this country are brought up conditioned not to care. So that's why I was going to start the podcast with this actually, yeah. I wanted to address something with you.
Oh, good.
When I was getting robbed at knife point, why'd you run away, man? This guy left me. This guy left me in secondary school, man. I was
Listen to this. I'm going to explain the story properly. Let me explain the story properly. So cool. And when I said the person,
and that's just a normal experience.
Hold on a second. Let me land on this one. When I say this person's name, you're gonna be like, oh, that's why.
Can we say his name? Where is he now? Hold on.
He's dead apparently.
What?
Apparently, is he the same guy that you're telling me about that used to rob?
No.
Okay, okay.
Let's, I don't want to say. I don't want to hear his name.
This guy's definitely in jail though. But
We don't know that.
So you're gonna say something?
You see the whole thing? Don't know that. Where's the hydrophones, man?
I'm trying to do better with my life, man.
but
No, we don't. Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Please. Yeah, whisper it. I don't want that smoke.
Oh shit!
Right.
Now I understand.
No. So basically, before I get into that story, I had an issue with him before. So remember Nemi, my boy?
Yeah.
From
We all had issues.
cool. But let me explain. But yeah, cool. I used to go to the youth club with Toby after school all the time. And there was one day I stone cold stunned Nemi's brother. You remember how I was obsessed with wrestling, bro? So I stone cold stunned him. And he was like 2 years younger than us, innit?
Oh my
Cool, so
god.
I think I was in year 7, he was in year 5, and I stone cold stunned
So
him.
he was not even. He's like 9 years old.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
great.
But he was asking for it.
Yeah.
So I gave him a stone cold stunner. I came to the youth club the next day, and that guy was waiting for me with a Somali boy. And he was like, yo, I heard you gave my man a stone cold stunner. How about I give you a stone cold stunner? I was like, I wouldn't like that. I don't want you to give me a stone cold stunner, mate. And then he was like, no, I should. And I was like, nah, it's cool. And then his Somali friend stepped forward and punched Toby in the belly.
What?
Like,
We're
really
even
hard.
involved.
Exactly. Because he just happened to be there. And then obviously, Toby looked at me and he was like, like holding his stomach and crying, putting on the tears. I'm thinking, okay, they should get us out of this trouble right now. It still didn't. So this guy literally grabbed me, tried to swing for me, missed. I ran off. He chased me. I don't know. Maybe at that point in time he was smoking from young, but he couldn't keep up. Remember back then I was a bit.
You were a bit
fast.
quick fast.
I left him, man. I got to my house done.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
We fast forward like a year later.
Yeah.
We get to Dalston.
Yep.
You've got a new phone.
Yep.
This guy turns up.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my days.
Wow.
Scroll down.
I didn't know this.
Okay, no, exactly.
I didn't know
Come on,
this.
you think I want to leave my boy?
Yeah, I do actually. I'll be honest.
You left him.
That's exactly what I would have done. I wish I could have run away. I would have left you. I would have left Tyrone. Hold tight, Tyrone. I would have left all of you, but he had me. He held me. He got.
No. So
Yeah.
bear in mind, we didn't even see his face straight away. Remember, he had his hood on.
Yeah.
This was planned. I feel like
the
someone.
other guy who was terrified. That's the guy who brought the knife out.
Okay.
Well, that's like, when you left, the knife came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God I left in time.
Yeah, I could have been on a t-shirt, bro.
No. But I remember Tim taking off his hood and I saw his face. I was like, if this guy realizes who I am, I'm fucked.
Yeah, fair enough. You had to protect yourself.
And I ducked out. I remember I ran off.
ran.
I ran into some hair shop and I was like, oh,
That hair shop's still there. It's like the only thing that's still there. Afro World or something.
yeah. Afro World. I ran
Yeah.
in there. I was like, damn. I was thinking, shit, these guys will come in here. I ran out there. I ran home and I got to school the next day. And this guy was waiting for me. Obviously, I saw you. I have to see you in the morning, innit? He's like, bro, you're a snake. You left me. I was like, what happened? I was like, bro, my phone got
What
robbed.
happened? How can you know what happened?
So what happened?
So
What happened?
So first he made you get beats.
Literally.
I didn't.
And now
that was
he
his
left
fault.
you.
He shouldn't have come to my house in the morning. That was his own fault, man.
So it's over
But
the.
do you understand why I ran?
Nah,
That guy's
I
crazy, bro.
I understand.
Bro, this guy was so crazy. I'll tell you a story.
He's
This
like,
guy-
one of us has to live and tell the story.
You're the story.
It's only right. It's only right.
Yeah. You
But
got, yeah.
this guy was so crazy. I remember it was like firework times around October. And
Yeah, I know the story. Yeah.
This guy got onto the top floor, the roof of an estate, and was shooting fireworks at us.
Yes.
Laughing, sitting on top of the roof. Not the 6th floor, not the 5th floor, the roof. Where all the sky dishes are and everything. He's
Psychopath.
standing right there laughing and shooting fireworks.
See, that's the
I
thing.
was like, I can't fuck with this dude.
There's a mad guy, and like we were saying earlier, imagine what madness is going on in this house.
In his house,
It's
yeah.
a mad thing.
Yeah.
Fireworks in the bedroom. To wake you up for school.
Fireworks in the kitchen.
Literally. Yeah, no. But no, I forgive you for running away. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
He's
no
not.
worries, man. Yeah, no worries, man.
No,
I
but let's-
understand.
let's-
I understand.
let's get in-
But the reason why I brought it up again is just this thing. When I was getting robbed, you ran away very quickly, but then it was just me and Tyrone. Hold tight, Tyrone. Tyrone's stage, you know. And
fuck
Tyrone was Tyrone was really small as well. Do you know what I
Nah,
mean?
he was
Comparatively,
small.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking pussy.
And
You.
If I didn't run, there would be no CAN podcast. Exactly, bro. What are you talking about?
Story. Yeah, you would be upstairs. You'd
Yeah,
be,
exactly. I'll
completely.
be chilling with God, boy.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up was because I was going to bring it up, but
Yeah.
the reason I brought it up in regards to our conversation was because about this thing of people seeing, but they're not valuing us as human beings.
Yeah.
That thing happened in the middle of the day in Dalston, busy Dalston. People walking past. So many people walking past.
Yeah.
No one.
But they're like, oh, they're looking at us like we're wild animals. So it's like, just don't get involved with what the wild animals are doing.
Yeah.
He had me by the scuff of my, my blazer or my jacket, and my mum had just given me that phone that day. It wasn't my phone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I got set up, by the way. I don't know if you knew this. I got set up. I got set up by a guy in our secondary school saw me and called this dude to come and get it.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, bro.
How do you know that?
Because he tried to sell the phone back to me. Yeah, fam. Yeah, he tried to sell, because obviously the flipping thing was blocked. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh yeah, he messaged me on MSM. Someone in the same year of me in my secondary school, in Aloysius, messaged with MSN, do you want to buy a phone? I was like, oh, this motherfucker. But
his tag was G.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know back then about weed. Now it makes sense. Why you would try and sell me the phone you just robbed. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you just put a hit out on me.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had me by the scuff of me. They grabbed me in my clothes. They had a knife out.
Yeah.
They took my bus pass, and my bus pass had a £10 for the week in it as well.
I remember
There's a
them
crazy
days.
thing. The person that we're not naming, it was like the jumpy guy that brought the knife out.
Yeah.
It wasn't your guy. He brought the knife out. And I held onto it for that long with people walking past thinking, surely someone's going to stop this from happening.
Yeah.
I'm talking time. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to die for this, So I took it, he took it off, he took the phone off of me, I had one of them pouches back then, do you know what I'm saying? He took the pouch, he took my Oyster card, the £10 in it, and it all popped off. And then your guy, this is the most confusing thing ever.
He's not my guy, bro, but
Okay, you're up.
Yeah.
He then took the Oyster card from the jumpy guy, came back to me and gave me I think he gave me the £10 back. He kept the Oyster and gave me the £10 back. And he was looking into my eyes so sincerely. I was like, what is going on? Like, what?
That was a bit of a mind fuck right there.
Bro, my mind was blown. Do you get me? And I just saw like the innocence of that child. And that's the thing about this stuff, yeah? These stories are fucking hilarious when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? They're like stuff you see at a cartoon, do you know what I'm saying?
definitely.
But also like a horror movie, like what's going on there? But yeah, he gave me my £10 back. And I was just like, okay.
Felt that guilt inside.
Yeah.
Not guilty enough to not flipping, he took my phone. He took the phone. I'm my Oyster. Like, how am I going to get to school the next
Exactly.
day? Yeah, man.
We're so
Wow.
desensitized to stuff
Yeah.
like that, man. It's actually pretty sickening. But